Hello, and thank you for joining our presentation on competing values, the role of value congruence in female administrators' career advancement within sport. Our names are Evan Davis and Mo Samad, and we are second year PhD students at Ohio State, and Dr. Donna Pastori serves as our advisor.
In the current literature in sport management, it is not hard to find an extensive amount of work that focuses on women's career development and the barriers that they face in ascending to leadership positions. Much of this research has given us insight into how women develop career goals, receive mentorship, develop skills, and receive career advice, as well as the barriers they face in terms of a lack of female role models, accessing the old boys network, lacking experience, stereotype threat, and the issues of work-family balance. While there is a great deal known about the struggles that women face in career advancement, recent work by Hancock and Hums proposed that value congruence may be another concern for the advancement of women. In this study, female administrators reported feeling that college athletics had gotten out of control and become all about the money rather than the development of student athletes. This belief led many women to see rising to more external positions as against their values of student athlete development, leading many to report staying in more internal positions, such as academic advising and compliance, to account for this difference. The findings on value congruence from Hancock and Hums is what drives this study, as we feel that issues with value congruence is something that is pertinent given the current landscape of college athletics, but also the lack of exploration of value congruence within sport management literature. Therefore, the purpose of the study is to explore the relationship between athletic department and female intercollegiate administrators' values and its effects on their career advancement. Along with our purpose, our study has been conceived around two research questions. First, to what extent do female administrators perceive that their values align with their athletic department values? And second, how do female athletic administrators' perceptions of value congruence facilitate or impede their career development? Our presentation now shifts into the literature review. To start off our literature review, we'd like to overview discussion on the current landscape of college athletics. Specifically, authors have consistently been critical of the current collegiate model and its shifting culture towards more neoliberal and capitalistic principles. This shift in culture has led to criticisms of how athletic departments and universities continue to put profit and interest of administrators and coaches ahead of the well-being and development of student athletes. The growing capitalistic culture within college athletics has created a sense of competing values within the landscape. More specifically, research on organizational culture in college athletics has found that those working within it feel the tug and pull of focusing on student-athlete well-being and development versus pursuing capitalistic gains. Oftentimes, this competing narrative leads to a disconnect between the values that administrators hold and the positions that they work in. With competing values in college athletics being a major focal point of our study, it is essential to discuss how we are conceptualizing values. Values have received various definitions throughout the years. However, we've conceptualized values to fit with the values framework proposed by Schwartz. In this framework, Schwartz viewed values as a belief system that helps guide one's behavior and believed that values could be categorized into one of 10 personal value categories. With values conceptualized, the next question becomes how we assess the difference in values between individuals and their organizations. Previous studies have used the person-environment framework to do so, and we will also utilize this. This framework aims to assess the compatibility between an individual's characteristics and the characteristics of their work environment through 5 different levels. While person-environment fit is composed of 5 different constructs, we have chosen to focus on one construct of person-environment fit, specifically person-organization fit, as it represents the construct most often used to assess the congruence between the norms and values of organizations and the values of persons, making a perfect fit for our interest in value congruence. Additionally, person-organization fit is usually assessed through supplementary or complementary means. We will be focusing on supplementary fit to assess the compatibility between an individual and the organization based on similar characteristics. Studies that have utilized person-organization fit have primarily focused on the construct of value congruence, which is meant to assess the shared values between individual employees and the organizational culture at large. An easy way to think of value congruence may be within your own workplace. For example, perhaps you're an individual who values camaraderie and find yourself working in an office that is highly competitive. In this sense, your values would be incongruent with those of your workspace. While studies of value congruence have been limited in college athletics, previous literature shows that cultures in athletic departments often display a lack of value congruence due to competing values that exist in the current college athletic landscape. Oftentimes, this competing narrative leads to a disconnect between the mission statement and values stated by the department heads with what's actually happening in the department. When this disconnect occurs, there's often a risk of division forming within the athletic departments, creating various fragmented subcultures that are working towards different goals. With the current state of affairs in college athletics, it becomes interesting to consider how these clashes and values are affecting employees of the athletic department. For this study, we are seeking to address concerns of culture in relation to the issues that women already face when it comes to advancing in the sport field. So, in asking why focus this study on female administrators, we believe that is necessary to bring to light a possible new and understudied barrier that women may face in advancing in the field. Thus, we are hoping to extend earlier findings from Hancock and Hums to see the extent that women perceive value congruence to be a potential issue in their advancement.
Utilizing a case study approach as described by Stake 1995, our goal is to give participants an opportunity to share their unique experiences and provide insight into how women administrators navigate personal and professional lives. In addition to semi-structured interviews, we are cognizant of our site selection, looking to utilize an athletic department that is multi-layered and will provide variance among participants' perceptions. Cresswell 2013 is who we leaned on to guide our purposeful sampling. Individuals who are chosen based on the understanding and knowledge of a particular phenomenon. The criteria for this study are identifying as female, being an administrator, and working with a college athletic department. As previously mentioned, through the use of semi-structured interviews, we plan to use the following questions in assisting and answering our overall research questions. Again, relying on Stake, but this time 2006, we plan to analyze the data through a thematic analysis, searching for common themes among participants' experiences. Furthermore, to assist in enhancing our overall trustworthiness, we have already sought out colleagues to review our interview protocol. We will also provide an opportunity for participants to review the transcribed data, and we will check each other's themes gathered to ensure reliability. Our direction moving forward is to gather feedback from participants in this session, to continue to update our interview protocol, and to begin the process in outreaching to prospective participants. Having already sought and received IRB approval, we plan to utilize gathered feedback to update our materials.